All right. And it said, I'll go ahead and keep that audio in there, recording in progress. All right. So Phoenix Calida wanted to see Greg Locke real quick and fast here.
I did?
Yes.
If we can sew it back together by Sunday, or even if we can do it at all. We're probably looking, just from the pictures and the video that I saw, if the stuff's not salvageable, we're probably looking at about $100,000 of damage. I mean, we're talking about our speakers, our screens, our trussing, our lights, a brand new sound system. We just had it replaced. Last Sunday was the first time we had it.
All right.
I told you God smited.
Nigga, the Lord
His
giveth,
shit.
he tooketh away, boy. Right? That's
Jesus doesn't
get.
like him.
But the tent didn't fare so well. And so our security was there. They've taken some pictures. My wife's been over there. Some of our staff are already on the way. We have some men that help work on our tent that are heading that way now to assess the situation. It blew down the entire right side, which you have to understand, in a tent that large, the canvas is so heavy that what that did is then that pulled down the weight of the trussing and the stage. Of course, on the trussing was all of our speakers and our lighting and all of our.
Yeah, Greg Locke's tent went down.
I mean, sadder things have happened.
Yeah, I guess really I might as well just not even cover Greg Locke for a while now. He ain't got no damn tent. Like, what the fuck are we supposed to do? Oh no, oh no.
Well, guys, as you can tell, we have a lot going on the campus here at Global Vision Bible Church. We literally have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 machines going at one time. That's a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of rock beating, and a lot of money. But God just keeps...
I was waiting for that. A lot of money. Like, when's he gonna say money? Say it. Say money. All right. This was posted 4 days ago. This is what he was doing New Year's Eve.
Okay.
Trying to get that money back in order. Right. Them insurance claims coming in. Lots of donations.
Lots of donations.
God, like, you wonder if the guys probably own those tractors and
Maybe,
whatnot.
yeah.
And he probably just has straight up free labor
Probably.
to get his
Yeah.
business back up and running.
I could see it.
keeps providing because he promised that he would. We've literally gone through 4 tents in 2021 going into 2022. This is the last day of 2021. I cannot believe we're already through Christmas.
Wait,
God is trying to tell you something.
I only knew about this tent. He lost 4 tents. So he loses a tent every quarter.
Yes.
So he has a quarterly tent report
Yes.
in his paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
They go over tent loss in the meetings.
But also, like, so God keeps fucking up his tent every 3 months, and the congregation is like, yeah, this is the guy. God likes him.
Why wouldn't he be the guy? Check him out.
Christmas and already in the New Year's. It's mind-blowing, but the Lord is good. The Lord is good. So we've gone through 4 tents now to having no tent. Tomorrow, Lord willing, will be our final service in the parking lot. Kind of come with me here through the mud, and you can see our big stadium cathedral outdoors down there. And I don't know, we've taken a few chairs back because obviously it's so cold. You kind of lose a little bit of the.
No, that is a stadium cathedral.
It is a pile of rocks.
A pile of rocks.
Yes.
Those are stones of freedom.
Oh my God.
Yes.
They're not.
Yes. The
No.
boulders of America.
crowd. And so we still have like 1,000 people coming in the parking lot every single weekend. Tomorrow's supposed to be super cold, but the Lord's going to work it all out. So we're super excited, but Lord willing.
People are gonna die of hypothermia.
The Lord isn't working it out when he keeps crashing your tents. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh my God, and if it's cold, people get like the sniffles and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the Omnicron. It's
No,
gonna
fake.
be Omni.
It's fake. False flag.
All right, so there's your main man, Greg Locke. So we did want to do some Kelly Earnby. Kelly Earnby did not fare too well with the COVID virus, and Kelly Earnby was anti-vax and anti-mandate.
Yes.
And I posted up some funny screenshots from conservatives on YouTube, on the Twitter, kind of at William J. Jack. But for here, we're going over to your good homegirl, Ellis.
Oh, Lindsay Ellis. Yes.
Yeah. Let's see. And now, what did you know this Lindsay Ellis for?
Making like mediocre white ally videos on YouTube.
Oh, was that okay?
Yeah.
I thought they did film reviews.
Yeah, they do. I mean, yeah, but you know.
Okay, but
because
like
that was their thing. Because they were
well.
one of those white people who like they were always insisting that like their perspective was coming from like essentially like a white woke perspective, right? Of like very deep in their allyship, and they talk about like Black Lives Matter and periodically talk about like you know, like unfairness in the criminal justice system and things like that. So like saying all the talking points, but
Yeah.
you know.
And so I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna cover this. I might just tinker around with it in the YouTube comment sections as I have, and they are very displeased with me.
Mm-hmm.
Like apparently I'm cruel.
You're mean. You hurt a white woman's feelings.
They'll have you know that they're not white, they're Mexican, which is an ethnicity, not a country.
Who's Mexican?
One of the people in the comment section. But they what up?
Oh, just that's such a weird thing to say. Like when someone, you know, we're talking about racism, someone's like, but I'm a quarter blah blah blah. Shut up. Just shut up. You're not helping anything.
Yeah, and there's white people from and in Mexico. Again, Mexican is not an ethnicity. All right, so and I was showing Phoenix a Lance of the Serf Times, who you've never really watched me before. I looked at the Serf Times myself. I got it from homie over at the Patreon, and like I follow the show, and I'm like, oh, it's amusing. They had that really funny one with the C word. The guy's getting banned for saying cracker on Twitch.
Right.
And they had that funny ass ending to the episode where they played the music from Curb Your Enthusiasm. And then I'm like, because I'm looking at the way this cat Lance is covering this, and like I'm like, this shit is funny style. And I play it for Phoenix, and Phoenix is like, I don't like this guy. And Phoenix said, making a prediction, in 2 years, some bad shit is coming out about this guy.
I don't like him.
All right, so let's actually let's play jump around a little bit, like where Lance is reading the piece that Lindsay Ellis wrote and put up. And Lance also apparently like the Twitch business model is play something that somebody else did and then stop and talk over it.
Right.
Which is kind of like what we do, but it's like we do more like reaction to a hot take or like reaction to a clip from a show. But like they'll really just be like playing someone's whole episode or segment.
Right.
Which I don't think is like plagiarism. It's just it's an ill style. I don't think it requires a lot of show prep.
Definitely not.
No. All right, so let's just hop right into it. I like Phoenix's reaction to Lance.
Respect. And I think the thing with cancel culture that I always try to emphasize is that there's a lot of people who get canceled online all the time just by virtue of existing.
I think that's one of my favorite things. First off, he thinks cancel culture exists.
Right, like who is being canceled? I need receipts.
Yeah, and so far what is being canceled now is this Lindsay Ellis, who their Patreon, since he put this video up, has gone from 8,000 to 11,000 subscribers.
But also, like, quitting is not being canceled. Again, being canceled implies it's something someone else is doing to you, saying, fuck you guys, I'm going home. Like, I'm taking my ball and I don't want to play anymore. Is not being canceled. That's quitting. You're a quitter.
Yeah, like, show me the email that YouTube sent you that said, you know, we're owned by Google and Twitter is searchable on Google, and we saw the comments that folks left about you and we believe them wholeheartedly. You see, we at Google that own YouTube, we don't believe white women. All right. We think that white women are not virtuous. We do not believe in white supremacy. And as far as we're concerned, due to these people of color mouthing off on Twitter and being problematic, we're canceling you. Show the screenshots of that email, or did you quit? Or did you claim to quit and really you're just transferring?
Yeah.
Right? Everybody pops up with a Substack or whatever the new fucking thing is. Like, you're just transferring over. New business model, new hustle.
Yep.
You know, and so I am not against calling out larger creators. I know I'm just trying to nuance my way through this whole thing, but I'm not
But hey, that his butt is fast, isn't it? It's not like an Obama butt, right? That was some Sonic the Hedgehog shit. See how swift that one came in.
And so I am not against calling out larger creators. I know I'm just trying to nuance my way through this whole thing, but I'm not against calling out larger creators. Again, I think that is a healthy practice and people should call out larger. I mean, I do that for a living. It's in this instance, I think that the call outs were unwarranted. And not only
And one thing I kept saying while Phoenix is watching this, I'm like, he won't stop fucking smiling.
Yeah.
Like, I mostly hear the podcast now while I'm walking around at work.
Mhm.
But like when I do look at the YouTube, I'm like, this nigga never stops fucking smiling. How can you talk about this horrific shit? Like, we do our jokes and laugh, and then I go to an episode, I'm talking about climate change, and I'm not laughing anymore. I'm hitting the table because of sea level rise.
Right.
He never stops grinning.
Because he's not serious.
unwarranted. I think they were misdirected. I think you're using the power of collective
And also,
outrage against a
keep in mind
target that is not.
And yeah, while you go, this is a chance for me to look at your decibels.
Yeah. So keep in mind something that he said like right now is that he doesn't disapprove of call outs. He just doesn't think this was done the right way, but he doesn't actually define what a call out is. So the way he's framing this, anytime he feels like a call out is personally unjustified to him, it's now like a justified argument because he never actually really defined what a call out is.
No,
Mm-hmm.
I think someone on YouTube would hear that comment. They would say, you're being unfair.
Yeah, I am. And what?
Not trying to oppress you is my point. Yes, that is the best way to work.
Yeah, we kind of cut in on what he said right there. He said, you're putting too much energy to someone who's not trying to oppress you.
Allegedly.
Rage against a target that is not trying to oppress you is my point. That's yes.
And then also like the word outrage, that word just has disingenuous written all over it. Everyone is not outraged.
Mm-hmm.
I remember somebody like, you know, when you're like in the early days of Facebook and you're like, these are my Facebook friends, let me check in on them. And somebody said something about like everyone's out, the mob is outraged and in an uproar. And I was like, I just got home from the grocery store. No one out is in a rage. No one up is in a roar. And like a day later, I went to check and I was like unfriended. Fucking, all their posts were friends only. And it's like people really want anyone who disagrees with them. You have to imagine them screaming at their screen.
But I don't like what he said. Just because even like the way he says that, well, she's not trying to oppress you. Well, nigga, how the fuck do you know that? Right. You're just saying that shit to say that shit because she's kind of sort of lefty.
Yeah.
But like, that's the thing though. Cause like that, and, you know, and that really is a thing. Like y'all want to talk about, she's such a great ally. Like I need, very specific examples of what she's doing to fight oppression, because there is a very fine line. And it's one that frankly, I'm tired of trying to parse out between openly oppressing someone versus, you know, allowing them to be oppressed. Like, what is she actually doing to fight systemic racism? Like, yeah, I know she makes YouTube videos and shit, but like,
yeah, that's what YouTube videos do.
But like, you know, like, can I trust you in person? Can I trust you as a person? She hasn't passed any of the
paperwork.
She hasn't passed any of those tests for me. So no, I can't sit here and say that she's not trying to oppress me or she's not complicit in oppression of various marginalized groups, because I have no evidence of that.
Leave plausible deniability in 2021.
Yes, that is the best way to word all this. There you go. Using the power of collective outrage, but not against someone who's actively trying to oppress you. That's it. All I know is that being in the public eye is a losing game, and I regret all of it. I regret every time I've ever stood up for anyone. It always backfires. I regret
every time I stood up.
Right. So you told me she's not trying to oppress me, but now because someone was mean to her on Twitter, causing her to gain 3,000 Patreon followers, and she quit, now she regrets ever helping people? And you wanted me to believe 2 minutes ago that she is not complicit in other people's oppression. But when she gets mad, fuck you. I'm sorry I ever helped you. Okay.
All I did for you people. It's like every single generation of white woman says that shit. Every single fucking generation.
Every time I pushed back against something unjust, it was always just used to hurt me. I regret every time I stood up for myself and everything correctly. I regret every time that I showed any vulnerability, just more ammunition to be used against the latter. I regret every time I tried to play the game with peers and colleagues. They will drop you a second if you aren't popular on Twitter anymore. It's all hollow and brittle. And if there's one thing I've learned,
you have 11,000 Patreon followers. You're quite popular.
No, if anyone dislikes me, everyone dislikes me, right? And that's that white mentality, white pathology, if you might see it, because everything is a zero-sum game to them.
Yeah.
As soon as I have one less bite of chocolate cake, you took all my chocolate cake.
But again, that's also interesting, tying into what he said. She's not trying to oppress you. Are you sure? How the fuck do you know? Because this is some sketchy ass behavior for a person who doesn't believe in oppression.
Well, and I'm gonna just call Lance a white man because look at him.
I can see his
white
face
man.
now.
Yeah, but he's one of those white men that, like, when you disagree with him, he's like, hey, whoa, Mom Dukes is indigenous. Elizabeth Warren is also indigenous, sir.
Here's how eminently expendable I am. The good, the progressive, cis, straight, wealthy white men keep on trucking and coming out top because deep down, the systems they oppress to stand on ultimately exist to benefit them. This is a pretty good summary of the whole thing. The good, progressive, cis, straight, wealthy white men keep on trucking and coming out on top because deep down they know that the systems they profess to stand against ultimately exist to benefit them. And to all the people telling me I need to grow thicker skin or remove myself from the conversation, you're right. I don't have it in me to do the former, so I shall do the latter. I hope your new year is better than this.
God, he kind of rambles, speed reads through that.
He does, but the whole thing is just some woe is me white woman tears. Everyone's being mean to me and I'm really sad about it. And because I can't have my way and you guys won't stop being mean, I am leaving forever. That's basically what she said.
No, you're not.
But I have to say that the timing of this is so interesting to me because this is relatively recent. But keep in mind some of the other stories that we've heard recently, right? Just about white women being white women, right? Like there was that white woman who was on the jury of the black truck driver who originally got the 110-year sentence because the brakes failed. And she made a whole Twitter thread about it. And people were like, well, but white women don't have systemic power. It was the judge who sentenced him. It's not her fault. She convicted him for some shit he didn't do, right? Like this, like really wild ass defending white women's behavior, no matter what it is, because they don't have power. That's exactly like this. But woe is me. I don't have any real power. It's the white men who have all the power. You have by default that many Patreon subscribers, 11,000, and it's a $2,000 a month minimum. How much money you're pulling in, you are making more than like 80% of the country talking about, I don't have any power. Give away the money then. If money is not giving you power, give it away. You don't need it. Give it away.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I'm so tired of it.
Well, they got to give it away to contractors adding on a pool room, Hey.
But yeah, it's just like this eternal thing about anytime a white woman does something and gets critiqued, it's misogyny. You can't blame me. I don't have systemic power. I don't have as much privilege as a white man. And it's like, but you're still being an asshole. So
all right,
just don't do that.
Well, we're getting outside of the letter. Let's get a little bit more in this same segment. We'll jump a bit.
Now, there is something to be said, and this is about anyone who wants to jump into streaming or online politics. The number one career.
Okay, now notice how he said anyone, but he's saying it in the context of this story.
Right.
Like, this is a very slick armchair diagnosis way of like saying, leave this white woman alone. Like, if you're not going to leave this white woman alone for that reason, all right, niggers like William out there, right? If it's not that, well, here, how about let me try this argument on you, boy.
It's about anyone who wants to jump into streaming or online politics. The number one career for YouTubers, for kids apparently, is becoming a YouTuber. That's the number one career prospect. So for everyone who wants to do that and make it big, let me give you all a piece of advice, because this is a very true thing. If you have problems with social anxiety, if you have problems with people calling you names or making fun of you, if you have issues with that, if it in any way impacts your mental health, please be aware that if you do blow up,
he's still fucking smiling.
Up on social media for whatever reason, and sometimes it's not even people who are trying. Sometimes people just go viral because someone else was filming them, right? It will take a toll on you that you may not be prepared to handle.
Right? Like on the slick, like I could imagine, like if you're a true believer and you think that all white leftists are all acting in full good faith, like I could see how you kind of put that in your head as like, oh, she had social anxiety. Like, right. I wouldn't like, and then what do? You're gonna go to Twitter and you'll see some nigger like William bad mouthing this fragile All right, flower of purity.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd be like, she had social anxiety, you oaf.
Mm-hmm. But also what's interesting to me about that is the way that he's framing it as like social anxiety or a mental health concern is by default saying that, like, so essentially the takeaway then is that anytime a white woman gets upset, it's because you've triggered her mental health.
Anytime a white man shoots up an area, he was a lone wolf.
He was a lone wolf. Yeah.
Set that one up. That's good. That's hold down white supremacy from the left. Nice. The Serf Times.
And I can say this firsthand. I am someone who does not suffer. I'm like, this is another. This is checking my privilege. I don't suffer from anxiety.
Are you
I don't
checking
suffer.
your privilege? Though?
Yes, he's checking his privilege.
Is he?
He's checking it.
And it's right. And it's right where he left it. God damn it.
That's one of them fucking phrases that, like, it deserved to be a joke. It doesn't mean anything. You just say it. Like, I couldn't get with that one in my 20s when I started getting around like these little like Facebook groups and whatnot. And I was just like, what the hell is check your privilege?
You just talk about it and feel kind of bad vaguely.
Well, okay. And then I guess that like fights systemic unchecked privilege.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. All right. And then did you want to tinker around? Because again, I'm kind of like trying to recreate the evening sitting up there with Phoenix and showing her this stuff because you knew more about it than me already.
Yeah.
The individual that's on screen where he's playing that person's video.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go on over there.
Yeah, and I have to say, like, something that struck me listening to this the first time is that a lot of his the Serf Times guy, a lot of his video is basically just arguing that microaggressions don't deserve time or consideration. Like, that's how it read to me.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. When you come back to what did we start at when he said you're using all this
right against somebody who's not actually trying to hurt you or oppress you. And it's like, well, all right.
Well, fuck the microaggressions. And so that would mean, of course, when Nigger William disagrees with him and he says, I'm indigenous, not white, I say, well, I just microaggressed you, and those are not what we got to go to someone who's actually trying to oppress you.
Yes.
People have levied it at me sometimes that you don't recognize sometimes how much white privilege you have. Accused of having the wrong take when it comes to marginalized people of color or stuff like that. But I also have to put myself in the shoes of, say, Jessie Gender, who is trans, right? And if she becomes famous and a whole bunch of people randomly start attacking her.
Oh, this is a different segment.
No, but how he's setting it up by saying that sometimes people tell me I don't always spot things in terms of race relations, so let me put myself in the shoes of this white trans woman. Sir, we were talking about racism, not trans women, especially not white trans women. How does putting yourself in the shoes of a white trans woman help you if the topic is anti-blackness or white supremacy or racism? Like, I don't even understand.
Yeah, and I really can't do that. I can just link to a Maddie Stump video. That's what I can do. Right? Just look, here's the actual person.
Like, is this a white trans person talking about racism? Because that's what we're talking about is racism.
Yeah, but that's not fun anymore. See, if we have to talk about racism, then I have to get canceled.
Mm-hmm. Anything from other people's oppression. We're not. This is not. Pick and replace. What's that game where you find people? Got who or something? Ugh, I'm slow today. Jesse's also cool as hell.
All right, and so I think that might be the individual on the screen. Would be the Jesse individual. Let's see. Trying to get my search terms in. Lindsay, Ellis.
Yes.
And I'll put Jesse. There they are. Okay, and it looks like it's gonna pick up right where you and I left off. So I'll run it back a couple minutes. Get that. This is a Phoenix Calida reaction video.
There. Broke me most in Lindsay Ellis's.
Oh yeah, you said that one thing you noticed something about their gesticulation.
Oh yeah, that they don't.
Yeah,
until they do.
Yeah, but yeah, like the part where they do, it was like when they want you to believe this part.
Right. Yes, it's like a very earnest hand gesture thing that they do.
Tactics. God, it's like office culture.
Or and prop up systems that continually still marginalize people, even in stupid
Okay, this person speaks at very low decibels. So let me bring this down.
conversations like pop culture. And I'm not calling them stupid. And I'm not calling pop culture stupid. As obvious, I love pop culture. But like the way we get heated and angry and vitriolic over these conversations that never seem to wish to evolve beyond woke and SJWs is part of that dynamic, and an intentional part of that dynamic by the people.
I'm gonna put the play speed up to 1.25. Dramatic pauser here.
Many oftentimes pushing those narratives. And again, I talked about creators messaging me. I know other creators who constantly feel this, who are just tired of being like, we just want to talk about these issues. And yes, we want to talk about hard issues within these works, but like, does everything need to be an attack on our person, attack on ourselves, attack of on who we are, attack on our sense of humanity? Always.
See, again, you're telling me that criticizing white women is attacking their humanity. Like the language choices that are coming up, like
their sense of humanity.
Dude, someone was mean to you on Twitter.
On the job that you chose.
In a job that you're making, you should be a millionaire before the end of the year if that's how your Patreon is going.
Whew.
Is that. And I want you all to know, I'm not getting burned out and doing YouTube. I still want to do YouTube. I'm not putting out this video to be like, oh, I'm done with YouTube, just like Lindsay Ellis. I am in this fight. The one thing that broke me.
In this fight. It's a fight.
What are you fighting? What are you fighting for? What are you fighting against?
Fighting the woke mob. Everyone's fighting. I noticed that has just become a white people versus people that critique white people thing. It was conservative. And then what, like the bigger, more prominent left picks it up, right? It comes down from what's it got? Kyle Kalinske. He was a big one on that. And then I remember that was funny when Brianna Joy Gray still had credibility and Benjamin Dixon accused her of holding water for white liberals. But I remember in 2015 when Benjamin Dixon, when he went in for David Pakman because David Pakman did not know how to respond to Elon James White flexing identity politics. When we come to find out, Elon James White did get Soros money. As David Pakman speculated, David Pakman was right. Elon James White did get Soros money. David Pakman didn't know how to argue against him. So we got Benjamin Dixon to come in and play the black face to argue against identity politics in general.
Well, it's a fight, you see.
They're fighting it.
It's a war.
And
it's a culture war, even.
They're beating the shit out of me like this fucking snow that if you see me on camera turn looking at the window, this fucking snow, I have to get to work safely somehow. And then here, small leftist win. I'm getting paid for my commute time.
Woohoo!
Yeah. You said go ahead and clock in when you leave the house. Neato.
Most in Lindsay Ellis's essay at the end there, where she says, I regret all these things. That broke my heart because I know.
I like also the tactical in it, right? Because they make sure to make very direct eye contact with the camera to say, that broke my heart. Pause, eye contact.
But also didn't say what she said. She regrets what?
Yeah, they just said regret all those things.
What are those things?
All those they're just those things, buddy.
And vitriolic over these conversations that never seem to wish to evolve beyond woke and SJWs is constantly feel this, who are just tired of being like, we just want to talk about these issues. And yes, we want to talk about hard issues within these works, but like, does everything need to be an attack on our person, attack on ourselves, attack of on who we are, attack on our sense of humanity? Always that.
Let it rock.
And I want you all to know, I'm not getting burned out and doing YouTube. I still want to do YouTube. I'm not putting out this video to be like, oh, I'm done with YouTube, just like Lindsay Ellis. I am in this fight. The one thing that broke me most in Lindsay Ellis's essay at the end there, where she says, I regret all these things.
All these things.
That broke my heart. Because I know why she's saying it. I know where she's coming from on it. I know why she feels that way. But I hope she recognizes that her work mattered. It helped. It made the world a better place. So many of us, as I said before, owe what we have to her.
What?
Okay, first of all, what the fuck did she do that made the world a better place? I'm gonna need some. Excuse me for sounding like fucking Tariq right now, but I need some tangibles. Okay, first of all. Secondly, again, the fucking language choices are wild. So did not specify what she said and what she actually said was, I regret helping you people after all I've done for you and you don't fucking appreciate me, right? Didn't specify that's what she said. And then goes on to tell her that her work mattered. What about the people she allegedly helped? Like, I cannot get over the fucking, dare I say, caucasity, audacity, whiteness, arrogance, ignorance, whatever you want to call it, to have allegedly participated in social justice actions and then said, I regret helping you people. And it's about her feelings still. I hope you know your work mattered, though. If you tell me that you're quitting because I critiqued you and you regret ever helping me with racism, we are going to have a whole ass conversation and it's not going to be about your fucking feelings.
And, you know, and like, because how much they helped. I am a black people. I didn't even know this white person existed until I found out that they're racist, which that's just what I'm going to call her, by the way. She's acting as a racist white woman. Mm-hmm. Like she is weaponizing white womanhood in a classic sense very well, too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. And she's like in her 20s, it looks like. All these folks, they all look super young to me. Yeah. I don't know if they're just good on moisturizer. You're going to look up Lindsay Ellis age?
I can, yeah.
Yeah. Because like that's also something like young white womanhood in a system of white supremacy. Young white women give birth to new white supremacists.
Right.
It's a good thing to have.
Yeah.
You protect that. Lance, that's important to folks like Lance, ain't it? For some reason, right? Lance doesn't even, right? It's kind of like that, like you're in the prisons of your minds, right? I'm gonna start sounding like a hotep. Like he doesn't even know why he's
right. She's 37.
37. All right. So you white people just good on moisturizer.
Well, I mean, she's a professional content creator. I'm sure she can make herself look good on camera.
Oh, that's yeah. And then also if it is business, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So your face is part of your uniform, right? You iron your uniform before work.
Right.
All right. Yeah, white people, they are like, that's the new cultural appropriation. White people trying to age like us. Nigga, look white. You know what the fuck you're supposed to. If you don't know, look at pictures of white people in the 80s. That's what you look like.
And this work that she did, not to erase any mistakes that she made or harm that she's done, but I owe a lot to her. She mattered to me. She made a difference. So you're stand up for those things.
But again, if you disavow it the minute you have a temper tantrum, you never actually stood up for those things.
Yeah.
Like, stop this. Stop this.
I'll also note that what I see in some of these comment sections, this person's been a content creator for a decade or more. Mm-hmm. And Patreon has existed that long, but then also tip jars, right? You're looking at Patreon, you're just looking at like, that's the publish, the tip jars, the Cash Apps, the PayPals, the Venmos, and any other ones they have. Mm-hmm. Like those all exist too. And that's all unaccounted for. Like, so this quite literally is a rich white woman that everyone is bowing down to and saying, fucking coloreds back away with your horrible gutter Twitter words. Man.
Pretty much.
I'll get to the end of this here. I'll push this one toward the end. Skipping forward to the it's a 46-minute video. I'll get to the 45-minute neighborhood.
The requires its own amount of energy, and only all of us only have the accountability to almost always outweigh the harm being done.
Okay, I want to give that more room now. What are they saying leading up to that?
And to make sure we hold them accountable.
Okay, make sure we hold them accountable. All right, so they're getting serious. We're gonna hold rich white women accountable.
Okay.
Damn it.
And make sure we hold them accountable in relation to their power and harm that they have. And never forget that we should hold them accountable, hold them to critique and criticism. But also recognize that our online spaces, because of this dehumanization, generally tends to allow the accountability to almost always outweigh the harm being done.
The accountability is outweighing the harm being done.
That's an interesting use of the word accountability.
So let's note that she joked about someone making like fan fiction, like
Of Harriet Tubman with a slave owner.
Yeah, that's it. Pornographic fan fiction of Harriet Tubman with a Twinkie slave owner. White woman joking about slave rape.
Yeah.
Intergenerationally into 2021. Some Twitter comments are an accountability that outweighs that transgression. This is what the white left in the world of Twitch streamers is arguing.
See, I swear to God, all they're sounding like is like, quit bitching about microaggressions. I swear to God, that's all it is. Because isn't that how like racist white people already behave, where they'll say something racist, right? And then be like, well, but I'm not a real racist. I've never said the N-word, or like, I'm not in the KKK. I'm not one of the real racists.
Yeah.
And like that, like obsession with doing just asshole shit, but without being called an asshole, essentially.
Yeah.
Like that's essentially all this is to me.
Damn. All right, let's see how they follow up that statement.
And inflict more harm back on somebody. And that we don't need to always have empathy for every other person, but just recognize that, because empathy requires its own amount of energy, and not only all of us only have a finite amount of it. But to recognize that, especially with people on a smaller platform, smaller creators with smaller power held, recognize that the accountability being what levied at them is not always commiserate. And because we've dehumanized them, that sometimes it's outright disgusting, horrible.
It's outright disgusting and horrible.
I mean, personally, I would be more disgusted as someone who resents doing any social justice work, but that's just me.
I think that's what I wanted to say.
Okay, well, that's what they wanted to say.
Well, white women caping for each other.
All right. Well, speaking of white women.
Yes.
In Mask Deputy District Attorney.
Okay. Just gonna go ahead and flip
County
it. All
Deputy
right.
District Attorney.
Oh, what up? What you got?
Oh, because I have been following this on Twitter as well.
Oh, yes.
And I just found this one tweet and it amuses me.
Yes.
It says Lindsay Ellis was driven off the internet just a few days ago by the same supposedly non-existent cancel culture. And here we are pretending it must not exist, or else it would paint us in a bad light. Were the Salem witch trials merely holding witches accountable too? The witch trials where they were killing people? Like where they were hanging people and torturing them?
Yes.
The witch trials?
You lynched this white woman.
What?
You did.
What? And that's how I know, like, without going, because I'm not going to go through all her videos. I'm simply not. And some people are going to say, like, that's not fair. You can't judge her if you don't go through them all. But based on her fan base, no. The fan base is speaking volumes, as is that little whiny ass essay she wrote.
Fuck it, man. Fuck it. You know what? If that's the position that white women are in the general hierarchy, then I'm calling them the N-word now. All right, grocery store. How you doing, sir? Don't talk to me, nigger. Don't do that. Don't. Hey, boy. I know.
You cannot say that.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
Mm-mm.
Right? Like, you know, when you're driving in like the fucking the high schools, they have the kids out jogging
Yes.
for the teams.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Pass by, just be like, gee, they got a fucking moon cricket parade over here.
What? No, you can't
Jesus
say
Christ.
that.
Is it for a basketball team?
You can't say that.
Fucking nigger ass white women playing b-ball, huh? Shooting some hoops. I tell you.
Mm-hmm.
You ever see them? Like you see the suburban movies and they're just out in
Don't
front
give
of the
them
house?
that word. They're gonna start saying that they can say it now.
They can. They do.
They do, but we're not trying to encourage that. We're trying to stop it, not encourage it. Jesus.
Oh God, I see him out in front of fucking porch monkeys. The bloody lot of them. That's what they are.
Porch monkeys.
You knew that, didn't you? Yeah.
No, I'm not giving them our slurs. Thank you very much. We can make up new ones for them. We're creative. That's what we do.
All right. Well, let's create something.
Uh-huh.
Orange County Deputy District Attorney Kelly Earnby has died of complications from COVID-19. She was a vocal critic of vaccine and mask orders. KCAL9 Sarah Donchi got reaction from Orange County District Attorney Todd Spitzer.
I'm Kelly Earnby. I'm running for the state assembly in the 74th district.
Kelly Earnby, a rising star in the Orange County Republican Party and deputy district attorney in Orange County, has died after contracting COVID-19.
Just a phenomenal prosecutor and a great, great friend.
She worked as part of the Orange County District Attorney's Environmental Protection Team, prosecuting those accused of polluting the environment. Orange County District Attorney Todd Spitzer said Earnby had been out of work for several days and that his office was shocked to learn the news of her death.
There were literally people who took a knee to the floor. I mean, it was like they were sucker punched.
So today we're walking in Huntington Beach where I live. We're knocking on doors, meeting the voters.
Earnby ran for an Orange County State Assembly seat in 2020, earning key endorsements from her party, but ultimately losing to the incumbent. She instead worked with the Orange County GOP as a committee member. The organization remembered her in a statement Tuesday that said in part, "The Republican Party of Orange County is greater because of Kelly Earnby, and her passing leaves a giant void for all of Orange County." While Kelly.
So that kind of statement, death cult. We're greater because a member died.
Yep.
We're greater by losing numbers.
Yes.
The less there are of us, the greater we are.
Yes. Death cult.
Fucking Christ.
Is no longer with us.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm being outraged. I'm in an uproar. Excuse me.
Outrage.
Her fighting spirit will live on through our entire OC GOP family. Earnby has been a vocal
she didn't
critic.
fight that hard, did she?
Oh.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm having a really hard time struggling with like anti-vax people who are dying from COVID. I don't feel bad for them.
At least you're struggling with it still. I'm at
You're like, I've given up. Fuck them.
like, you fucking fuckers. Because like,
fuck them niggas.
yeah, it's like I feel like when I'm walking upstairs in the factory, I'm like, man, this would be good breathing if I didn't have to wear a fucking mask. But you fucking monkeys go to every goddamn festival and concert, and you gotta just kids in school and go to the barbecue, and they had the damn chili cook-off out here.
Yeah.
And after the chili cook-off, you look up, oh look, 10 people got it that we know of. God damn. And then I got people that probably like the one where we think he lied and said he got it. And then like he's not going to go back on that lie, so he's going to tell other conservatives I got it and I came out fine.
Right.
And I
It's
just
like the flu.
Yeah, and it happened to be the exact amount of fucking personal days I had on the calendar for the job in the last month of the year.
Yeah.
Wow. Right after Thanksgiving, I just happened to have the fuck out of here. And then they believe it and they're like, what? It's nothing.
Right.
And then I heard I was listening to that program, The Status Coup. I'm failing on remembering the host name, but they were talking about Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
And Joe Rogan talking about, I'm a healthy guy. I was fine after 6 days. And he's like, but why were you fine after 6 days? You threw the kitchen sink at it.
Right.
You took every single thing possible.
Right. But also you were already healthy to start with. You don't, that we know of, don't have like a bunch of chronic health conditions. You have health insurance. You get essentially preventative maintenance on your body. I would assume or presume. Like, yeah, that's very different than someone who hasn't been to a doctor in 10 years, has high blood pressure, and is like pre-diabetic getting COVID. Like, that's a very different. And like, they never talk about that because and that's part of why I hate this whole, like, it's just like the flu thing, because the flu kills people too.
Yeah.
Not everybody even survives the flu. What the fuck are you talking about?
And flu deaths were down because of fucking restrictions.
Yeah.
Restrictions save lives. Libertarianism, well,
COVID-19 vaccine mandates and restrictions during the pandemic. It was unclear if she was vaccinated herself.
Yep. Oh, we'll get to that. It was unclear if she was vaccinated herself.
She was not vaccinated.
All right.
Colleagues said Tuesday they were frustrated by what they described as cruel responses to her death being posted online.
I don't know, quite frankly, whether she was vaccinated or not. Quite frankly, it's none of my business. But I can just tell you this: some of the comments and dialogue on my.
Who is this?
This person? Let's
he
go
was
back to
one of
his
her
introduction.
coworkers, right?
Yes.
So that means he said it's not my business if she got, but y'all worked in the same office. At the beginning of this, they said she had been calling out of work because she was sick. You don't think you should fucking know if she was vaccinated when you were sharing breathing space with this person?
I'm in Orange County, California.
What?
We can afford healthcare.
Oh man.
County webpage regarding Kelly have been just cruel.
Earnby was 46.
No, they were probably hilarious. I haven't even seen them yet. Like lefties got good jokes, man.
Lefties do, but also like again with that fucking fake ass shit. Do you honestly want me to believe that you're genuinely offended by getting made fun of by leftists?
But you know what? You can't leave those kind of comments because like she's gonna have to resurrect herself and quit YouTube over all these fucking mean comments. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but when God cancels you, it's over.
It's over. It's
over. And God canceled her.
It's fucking Satan slacking again.
6 years old and is survived by her husband.
She was outspoken about a lot of issues, including vaccinations. But none of that takes away from the beautiful person she was.
It literally does. Being anti-vax is getting people killed, and not just her. It literally takes away from your quality as a person to still be pushing anti-vax conspiracies. What is wrong with these people?
Also, it doesn't take away. It took her away. The whole person is gone. 100% of the person is gone.
Orange County GOP says they have yet to receive details about services and that they want to respect the family's privacy. I'm Sarah Donchi, KCAL 9 News.
All right. So it was unclear whether she was vaccinated or not. The Orange County Register headline, husband Kelly Earnby wasn't vaccinated when she died of COVID-19 complications. New York Post, anti-mandate prosecutor who died of COVID was not vaccinated, husband. All right, skippy flippy jibby boo. And right here in the Facebook thread is her husband, Matthias Enby, saying she was not vaccinated. That's the problem.
Well, so he knows what the problem is. Okay, well.
Oh, it was not unclear. She was not vaccinated. CBSN, please do an update, motherfuckers. God damn. And today is January 5th. This video was up today, January 5th. Is there a date stamp on this article? January 4th. What are you doing?
Right.
What are you doing? Why so immediate? This is a fucking, at this point in time, a $400 a month operation. Nigga, I Googled it. I didn't even go to Yahoo.
Right.
I have to say the Ask That Nigga Jeeves line. That's a part of my thing. And I didn't ask that nigga Jeeves. All right. And we're looking at 2:43 p.m. I'm confident in that. I can go ahead and leave at the top of the hour at 3. Your man Eric.
Okay.
Let's go on over here to New York City.
Right.
All right.
This fucking guy.
First, we're in the world of YouTube. We went over to California. Let's keep it coastal. We're going to New York City with Eric Adams. And from his rhetoric around on other shit other than this clip, he seemed like a Democrat type because I didn't follow this guy.
He was a Democrat and then he left the party, joined the Republicans, and then left the Republicans and went back to Democrat.
Okay. He's set hopping. What set are you from? Stay.
January, February, March, April. 4 months?
4 months. Okay. And this video is embedded on the Newsweek. Eric Adams says cooks, dishwashers don't have academic skills to sit in a corner office.
Of not having this business patronized, not having a restaurant patronized, not having business travelers come here to the city to go to our hotels. That is going.
And I will do what I can with those decibels. He is popping the shit out of his decibels.
To be devastating for our economy. And I don't know if my businesses are sharing with their employees. You are part of the ecosystem of this city. My low-skilled workers, my cooks, my dishwashers, my messengers, my shoe shine.
All right, low skill. They always have to be low skilled.
And he said shoe shine.
Yeah.
Nigga.
God damn. And he said my low skilled workers. I get like you got elected, but Jesus Christ, my. All right.
people. Those who work in Dunkin' Donuts, they don't have the academic skills to sit in a corner office. They need this.
Also, academic skills.
Right.
And like what'll get you in a corner office, right, would be like most likely nepotism.
Mm-hmm.
Or then like if you produce so much that you just get promoted to that level.
Right.
Right. Like really, if I just said I'm going to be the badass machine operator of ever and really put my all into it. And also how much overtime you do.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they just want to see that you're a fucking loyal worker and you'll get promoted.
Yeah.
Like you'll get there. People get there from the floor. I will not use the language all the time because capitalism is a pyramid scheme. There are very few corner offices. That's another factor.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
We are in this together.
All right. We're in this together, but we're your shoe shine boys.
Uh-huh.
So he did you get your fucking shine box thing. What else do you know about this guy?
That essentially he's an asshole. Like honestly. So basically because he's black, he tries to like basically pimp that identity and say that he can basically do work with the neighborhoods, you know, to do like community outreach and like rebuild community relations between non-white people and police. When Giuliani was in, he complained about stop and frisk policies, but that was back then. But now when he was running, he considered himself a conservative on crime.
Oh, Chris Rock style.
Uh-huh. And he also said, where did it go?
Chris Rock, also from Brooklyn.
Yes. Let's see, experts are anticipating he to be somewhere between de Blasio and Giuliani as mayor. That's really not promising. They're both horrible on police issues. But where the fuck did the one go? He's telling people he has a holistic vision and we can put that methodology into practice. But a holistic vision. But keep in mind, he also has a plan to bring back plainclothes anti-crime squads to do stop and frisks.
Plain clothes anti-crime, but that sounds like an unknown unknown.
I think it's a known unknown.
It's a known unknown
or an unknown known. But niggas be knowing.
They're gonna want to unknow it when he implements it.
Yeah, they are.
Good podcast. Making this episode public. Actually, no, this is a Phoenix and William episode. Oh shit.
Okay.
Oh, $10 month level Patreon.
Yeah, but we just got new people listening, so maybe it should be public.
Oh, and you know what? I think it should be public.
But yeah, so he's basically doing like the fears on rising crime and saying that we need to bring back anti-crime policies.
So he's basically the broken windows mayor.
Yeah, having a good anti-crime team will take guns off the streets. Okay.
We'll take guns off the streets. Take incentive to have guns off the streets.
What?
No?
You mean giving someone like a fucking $50 gift card isn't enough?
A $50 gift card in fucking New York? Like I interact with this photographer and chef out there, and they're fucking paying $2,000. I think he said $2,600 a month in rent for a basement unit apartment. What? $50 gift card?
$50 gift card
to piss on? Okay.
Yeah, and so they talk about that unit in here. So like they mentioned in 1999, 4 plainclothes street crime unit officers fatally shot Mr. Diallo. Remember that? He was a West African immigrant outside the apartment.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's why the NYP eventually disbanded them, but he's going to bring them back because he has a holistic vision on how to rebuild community.
What's this 85-10-5 fucking governance? What is this shit, man?
So yeah, he's gonna bring it back. So like, let's look for tons of NYPD abuse, but this is how he's gonna repair community relations. And if you tell him, I think I sent you the other link of him talking. If you complain about it, he will tell you that he's worn a bulletproof vest for 22 years and protected the people of the city. So unless you also have been a cop, you do not have a right to question him. That seems safe.
Punitive segregation. I am not going to be in a city where dangerous people assault innocent people, go to jail and assault more people. You cannot have a jail system where someone sexually
Wait, was this the one?
I thought that was the one.
Right, with the
It's 1:29, a minute and 29 seconds.
oh,
That he is wearing the same outfit though, so it probably is
59.
okay.
And yours is a minute 29.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the wait. This is when you tagged me in though.
Yeah, but it should be in there somewhere. It's he's wearing the same outfit in both of them. So
Okay.
assault a staffer, slash an inmate, and then say, it is all right, I'm going to give you an iPad and just hug you and say, don't do it again.
Whoa, is that what's happening?
no, that's not. Of course, that's not what's happening.
That was a fucking Alex Jones segment right there. What the fuck?
Oh, because there's been tons of pushback about Rikers, because an inmate actually successfully sued, saying that, you know how essentially once you're convicted, you're property of the state, right?
Yeah.
And so this guy who's still awaiting trial basically sued and said that the conditions in Rikers were so horrific that he should be let out before his trial, because he's essentially being punished as an inmate while he is not technically an inmate because he hasn't been convicted of a crime yet. So there's been like a ton of pushback about Rikers, and he actually won, by the way, which is impressive because that's a very rare thing to win. So there's like tons of pushback about closing down Rikers, getting people out of Rikers, especially with COVID going on as well. And he's just like, no, put them in there.
Oh, now to my understanding, Jay-Z's getting Rikers closed.
Oh yeah, Jay-Z is definitely going to get Rikers closed.
Yeah, he's going to get Rikers closed, and then they're going to convert it to be Umar Johnson's School for Boys.
And they're going to have billionaire brunch there.
Shit, on some level, it already is. It's New York City School for Boys on some level.
Slash an inmate, and then say, it is all right, I'm going to give you an iPad and just hug you and say, don't do it again. No. If you are violent, you must be removed from population so that you don't inflict violence on other people. That's clear. If you want to work as a partner, call me. Hear my understandings and my belief. The one thing that's different from everyone that signed a letter and Eric Adams, I wore a bulletproof vest for 22 years and protected the people of this city.
From what? The other cops? I don't think you did.
No, you did not.
Yeah, wait, for 22 years, was Eric Garner anywhere in that 22-year span?
Yes. He was in office when Giuliani was in office at the height of stop and frisk. The fuck were you protecting anybody from?
Nigga, I was protecting the cast of Friends for 22 years. Joey and Chandler could get their coffee in peace because I kept those fucking thugs from Brownsville from making them anti-yap and yapping them fools.
And when you do that, then you have the right to question me on safety and public safety matters.
It's a pro freedom of speech guy.
Right, but also keep in mind the way he framed it though. It started off by saying, if you want to know, I'll work with you, come talk to me and find out my ideas, and instantly morphed into, if you haven't done this shit, you don't get to talk. Like within 3 sentences, it went from I'm willing to work with anyone to you don't get to say things.
If you haven't been a gangster and put in work, you can't ride with me.
That was basically what he said.
I think I know a little something about this. I'm going to protect my correction officers. I'm going to protect the inmates that are serving time. And I'm not going to allow violent people to do violence and think they can do it without being held accountable. And we can do it in a humane fashion. And if anyone wants
humane punishment. Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you know what? In America, it's high time we had humane jails. All right. Humane solitary confinement. All right, a humane infirmary unit.
Yeah, humane rat droppings in the food.
Well, that's transhumanism. Those are gay rats by lead in the water system.
Talk to me about that. Don't write a letter. Call me and speak with me. That is how we're going to resolve this.
Ellis, so you can just be called.
But also he just said, if you haven't done the time being a cop, don't talk to me. So are we trying to talk to you or not, my nigga?
Or are you saying you only talk to cops?
He only talks to cops.
I think that's where they put they type in the word red flag so that the emoji comes up, but then you do it like 35 times and then take a screenshot and put
only talks to other cops.
Red flags. Blue lives are red flags.
There's a body of people.
On some level, that second scarf he's wearing is a red flag.
Mm-hmm. So is the one behind him.
Ooh, behind him.
The American flag right behind him.
Oh, God, there it is. God, it's a red.
Coming into the city council, they have no desire in moving our city forward. Their desire is to be disruptive. What I am going to do, I'm going to ignore them. I'm going to stay committed, undistracted.
Again, you keep saying to talk to you and then telling people to not talk to you. What are you doing?
Look at how he smiles when he says the real part. Like, he's like, when I have to say the bullshit talking points where I'm open to you, I am frowning. But when I tell you to go fuck yourself, I am grinning. I kind of look like the Grinch a little bit. And maybe I'll get landed in a role. Jim Carrey, eat your heart out.
And I'm going to grind. If they like it or not, I'm the mayor.
If they
this man is fucking evil. This man is evil.
Jesus Christ.
Like, yeah, if I lived in New York, I'd be like, it might be time to go with this guy. This is some
It is 2:56 in the PM. I am getting the funk out of here. Audio uploaded now, video uploaded after the shift. So 5 hours later. But of course, video uploads slow. 6 hours later.
Right.
All right. And you probably want to warm up that their vehicular.
Yes. And I even had white on white crime stories and we didn't do any of them. God damn it.
Shit, we didn't.
We didn't. That's fine.
Still did old smart ass episode. All right. winecellarmedia.com. When you go there, the homepage is now a static page with just the latest public free podcast episodes. And but Phoenix Calida declared that this will be one of those episodes.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, just so you know, next time we come back, I do have a Florida man story.
Florida fella story?
About a 74-year-old Florida man who was chasing people with a knife on his electric scooter.
No. What?
Oh yes. When we come back, we will have more things for y'all.
All right. All right. That's the world you live in. Good day. End in the video. Dadgummit, where is you? Come on.